following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Main Street Sports Today, live from Spring Fling 2022, is brought to you in part by Complete Service Heat and Air, Keller Williams Lee Realty, First Lending Solutions, and Pamela Witt, State Farm, Micah Blunt Agency, Jeff Eby for State Representative, Riverside Golf Links, Jody Jones DDS, and by Park Durham Injury Law. Broadcasting live from the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, filling in for Mo and Chris, here's George Plaster.
Yeah, let's try it that way. Hello again, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you're getting ready for a fabulous Memorial Day weekend. Our show is coming to you today from MTSU's Sports Hall of Fame building. It's a little quiet right now, but I have a feeling things are going to pick up here in a little while as our coverage of Spring Fling 2022 continues. We begin right off the bat with Chris Yao, for whom I am a substitute teacher, if you will. They couldn't find anybody better, so they're stuck with me. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, George. We chose you because you're the perfect substitute teacher. We can get you off on tangents real easy, and we don't have to have class at all.
Nice. You know, I used to be sort of the I was the student from you know where when we would get a substitute teacher, because it was always the feeling of, oh, fresh meat. Let's see if they can handle this.
It's exactly what it is. Well, so, we've thrown a lot at you this week, George, but you've handled it like a pro as always.
Oh, I've had a blast. The reporters are great. Where we're set up has been really good between JP and Justin Kulik. They've had us well taken care of. This has been fun. I'll tell you what else it's done, Chris. It's given me a little bit of a, okay, here's what you're going to be doing. Like, for instance, today, if I want to see you, I would have to turn to the left, okay, because gotcha. That's where the television is. Once we get started.
We're looking at one another right now, George.
Are we really? It's not a pretty sight, is it?
Great.
Okay, so tell me, we have a sponsored segment here.
That's right, and I'll just go ahead and I will do the read because it's our friend Chip Walters. I know you know Chip, but Chip.
What's he doing?
I'm sorry. Yeah, he is with Exit Realty. With
I know he is. He's killing
.net. So if you need a house or you need to sell your house, there's no better person to call than Chip Walters. Just dial up choosechip.net on your computer or smartphone, George. That's right, you have one of those now, so you can just type it right in there. Choosechip.net. It's amazing, isn't it?
I've known Chip a long time. I don't think he would want my phone call.
He might want to sell your house, though. Who knows? Yeah. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you yesterday's results, some of today's results, and the weekend schedule, or at least some of the schedule for this weekend on the rundown. So we'll start with yesterday's results in softball. Not a lot of them because we had a lot of rain delays, as you guys well know. Loretto defeated Community 7-5. It was Daniel Boone 4, Springfield 0. Summertown down to Adamsville 3-0, and Wilson Central ended Stewart's Creek's season 3-1. All of those losers went home yesterday. In boys soccer, it was Baylor 3, Father Ryan 2, and Grace Christian out of Franklin 3. Boyd Buchanan 0. And college baseball, top seed Tennessee down to Vanderbilt 10-1. It was Belmont 10, SIU Edwardsville 9 in the OVC tournament. In the A-Sun tournament, second seed Lipscomb fell to top seed Liberty in pool play, and that's another story for another day. George, we might want to talk about that later. Liberty 10, Lipscomb 2. It was Charlotte ending Middle Tennessee State's season 22-0. They were outscored 40-7 in the Conference USA tournament between Old Dominion and Charlotte. So tough out for the Blue Raiders in college baseball. In pro baseball last night, it was the Phillies 4, Braves nothing, and Toledo down the Sounds 9-4. In scores from today, Joe Burns 3, Gordonsville 1 in girls softball. Also in softball, it was Gibbs 2, Lincoln County 1. Lakeway Christian down Jackson Christian 4-0. Tipton Rosemark defeated Chattanooga Christian 9-1. In baseball action, Bradford down Coalfield 7-5. It was Riverdale 5, Collierville 4. Powell, an 8-4 winner over Stewart's Creek, and White House Heritage defeated Forest 9-8. Lipscomb Academy down Knoxville Catholic 11-3. It was a tie. We can't have a tie in soccer in the state tournament. So Gatlinburg Pittman and Madison Magnet, not sure. I guess Gatlinburg Pittman was bold, so I guess they won. Maybe it was a shootout. And other action, Loretto just defeated Summertown, ending the Lady Eagles season 4-3. Throughout the rest of the day, you'll have Good Pasture and North Point Christian in Division 2A baseball as McCallie and Lipscomb Academy in D2A. Eagleville and Bradford in Class 1A is Farragut and Riverdale. Houston and Powell. It'll be Pigeon Forge versus White House Heritage, and Page in soccer will take on Valor Collegiate Prep, and you'll hear from Tyler Palmatier with that later. Also, throughout the rest of the college baseball in the SEC tournament, it's Vanderbilt and Kentucky. They have opened their game, I assume, at 1 o'clock today on the SEC network. Tennessee and LSU play tonight at 8 p.m. In the OVC tournament, Belmont takes on Tennessee Tech. They just started here momentarily, and you can find it on ESPN Plus. And Lipscomb, Kennesaw State in the semifinals of the ASUN tournament, a 2 p.m. start as well on ESPN Plus. The Marlins are at the Braves this weekend, and the Sounds continue their series up in Toledo, currently losing the series 2-1. They've not lost a series all year, George, so hopefully they can turn it around and make sure to keep that streak going. But that is going to do it. That's your weekend rundown, brought to you by ChooseChip.net, Chip Walters, Bob Lamb and Associates, and Exit Realty. Appreciate you guys obliging me today, and I'm sure you will have a fantastic show. I think I'm supposed to talk to you a little bit later, George, and maybe we can try to figure out what the heck the ASUN is doing with their conference tournament with pool play and semifinal bracket play and who knows what. So it's insane.
So here was just a thought. I noticed your car looks cleaner than mine.
It's because I cleaned it to come here. I
so
literally cleaned the car out.
It's all a mirage.
It's a sham. It's a sham.
Where's it all 100%. Stored?
In the trunk.
A baby.
True story.
We'll talk whenever it is during the 3.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for helping us out. We appreciate it, George and Justin and all the other folks, Billy, Derek, and I know you talked to Watson yesterday. That was a lot of fun to listen to as well. So I'll be listening. Looking forward to it. Going to go grab a bite to eat and keep going because we got a 5:30 Division 2A championship softball game at 5:30 featuring Columbia Academy. So that's going to be exciting.
Bring it on. Good stuff, Chris. Thank you. It'll be his show come Monday. I've gone a little casual compared to yesterday. I had a sport coat on. Do not get used to that. It's not likely to happen. But we're headed down to Birmingham. Actually, Hoover is a suburb of Birmingham. Beautiful park down there. It's where the SEC baseball championships are going on. Billy Derrick, who will be a part of my show when we debut July the 11th, is down there. Billy, what's going on?
George, there's a game going on right now, Vanderbilt and Kentucky, that is tied at 1 in the bottom of the 3rd. And it looks like they're going to be able to get all 4 games in today. And they're going to have to play 4 tomorrow, usually on a day where they only play 2 on semifinal Saturday. So a lot of baseball here in the next couple days. But I think a lot of people down here are just happy they're able to get most of this tournament in, and actually all of it.
So let me ask you this. If Vandy were to win, would they play tomorrow same time?
They would play tomorrow. Not sure about the same time. It would probably be around this 1 o'clock range. 12:30, somewhere around there, because of where they're placed in the bracket. But right now they're tied with Kentucky 1-1, and if Vanderbilt were to win right now, they would advance to play the loser of LSU and Tennessee tonight, which a lot of people are excited for that one later tonight. But that's where Vanderbilt is right now, and we're gonna have to see if they'll move on and play tomorrow, because George very well that they need every win they can get, especially this time of year.
Talk to me about last night. Vandy got pummeled by Tennessee. Virtually everybody has been, but this has got to really be a little bit of a wake-up call to Tim Corbin and Vandy's program, because Tennessee is now the benchmark, and based on what we saw last night, Vandy isn't anywhere close.
No, George, and the youth was on display yesterday. Vanderbilt made 4 errors in the first 5 innings that cost them, I would say, probably 3 runs at least. And you saw the team consistently struggle to hit. Blade Tidwell, Tennessee's starter, is a very good pitcher. But George, it just feels like this team that you see a lot of their youth most games. You see a lot of the inexperience. And you don't see a lot of confidence and swagger from this team, especially the fact that they're young. That plays into it. But you've seen a lot of Vandy teams in the past that have been very young, but they still play with a lot of swagger and confidence. This team feels like there's a lack of energy sometimes as well. But yeah, you're right about getting pummeled last night, George. They did. It felt like kind of a slow death for Vanderbilt, and Tennessee, they just kept playing with confidence like they usually do. And there's not a team out there in the country right now that has as much talent and as much consistency and, point blank swagger than this Tennessee team. And they're going to be tough to beat, as they've been all season long. And, it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this run going, because it does get more difficult in the regional, super regional play. But they've got so many plus players, George, and it's Tim Corbin after the game actually said they're one of the better teams he's seen in his 20 years as coach at Vanderbilt. So it's been pretty wild to see the transformation at Tennessee with Tony Vitello, and meanwhile Vanderbilt seems like they I wouldn't say going downhill, but they need to figure some things out, especially with the way Tennessee's playing right now. They are the benchmark, George.
Billy, is there anybody in the SEC that you feel like, off what you've seen, can go toe-to-toe with Tennessee?
Well, down here, George, a lot of people have been impressed with Texas A&M. They had a really, really interesting, season. They started off, very cold. I think they lost their first few SEC series, and then they won every series after that. I think they won like 5 straight series in the SEC. And they pummeled Kentucky yesterday. So it was kind of interesting to see their season. But right now, George, the way A&M is playing, I think they're a team that could challenge Tennessee. And heck, tonight, I think LSU, with the way their bats are playing, could challenge them. But at the end of the day, George, Tennessee, I think, just has too much for not only the SEC but the rest of the country. I mean, SEC, you're firing LSU at Tennessee. You're firing Texas A&M at Tennessee, and nobody's really shown that they have what it takes to beat this Tennessee team. They've lost series this season. They lost one actually to Kentucky this year. They've lost a couple SEC games, along the way. But this time of year, George, they've shown that they've got what it takes, and they've got a lot of motivation behind it as well, after how their Omaha trip ended last year.
Feels like it's going to be a fun June for the University of Tennessee program. Billy, appreciate the update as always. We'll talk to you again near the end of the show around 3:55.
George, you got it. Looking forward to it.
That's Billy Derrick. He's reporting live from the Hoover Met down in Alabama, where the SEC baseball tournament is going on. After our first break of the show, Zach Womble will join me, and we will ask the question, what's happening? Where are you going? What are you covering?
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
We are back. 2:17 is the time. I had to look at my little trusty iPhone over there that I'm so proud of. Zach Womble, Main Street Media. He joins us, the first of a series of reports today to keep you updated on what is or perhaps what isn't going on with Spring Fling. Zach, how are you?
George, I'm doing wonderful today on this Friday. Beautiful day, no rain. So just grateful that the skies have not collapsed on us, unlike every other day this week. How are you doing today?
Oh, look, I'm there with you, but I am a little bit surprised. I mean, as I look, I thought we'd have bright sunshine by now. They've got that down in Birmingham. We haven't gotten that yet.
You know, I'm sure the reporters on scene are probably pretty grateful you got a little overcast today, because usually spring.
It's a good point.
Is filled with 95-degree weather, and you're just out there sweating so bad, and you're running through t-shirts because all the sweat that you've accumulated. But so I'm sure the reporters on scene today are probably pretty grateful that it feels the way that it does, which is probably about 70 degrees, if not a couple degrees higher or lower.
Zach, how much stuff will actually go on tomorrow?
Several things will go on tomorrow. I mean, all the championships will play tomorrow, whether that be baseball or softball. So I mean, they're not going to play too many games today because they do have tomorrow. But it looks like soccer is going to culminate today. I know several state champions have been crowned from Division II all the way to Division I. But you are looking at some baseball and softball championships and/or loser go home games starting tomorrow. I mean, from whether that be Division II AA, Division II Single A, or any other classification in the public school. So tomorrow will be a full day of Spring Fling action, and it should be a good one. It should be good crowd sizes. I mean, anytime you can play on a weekend, you're inviting people that maybe could not make it during the week because of work obligations or what have you. So it could be a really big money day for the TSSAA. We talked yesterday about just how big this event is for the city of Murfreesboro and the TSSAA. Probably going to stand to make a few extra dollars come tomorrow.
They like that. So has this thing ever run into Memorial Day Sunday?
It has. I was speaking with John Decker, who is a friend of the company, writer, photographer, freelancer for us during various seasons. He actually runs, I believe, one of the baseball, Tennessee baseball Twitter accounts that follows high school and JUCO throughout the state of Tennessee. And he was telling me that there have been a few occasions where it has run into Sunday. You don't think you're going to get that here this year, but it has certainly happened in the past. Obviously, a situation that the TSSAA does not want to happen because of all the things that I said yesterday, whether that be Memorial Day plans with family, whether that be forcing teams to stay an extra night or two in a hotel or what have you. But yes, it has happened in the past, but I don't think you're going to see that this year.
Okay, let's get to a sport both of us love, and that is football. And on the high school level, what are we, 2.5 months away from actual football and practice starting 2 months from now? Give me some news. Give me a couple of pieces of info that you think might be pretty interesting.
Well, to go into the area of expertise that I am full of, which is Sumner County. Up here we have one new school opening in Liberty Creek, and the former defensive coordinator at Beach High School, Bill Alexander, is going to head that team. The newest school in Sumner County. They're actually going to be the Wolves, and if you're an Ole Miss fan, you're going to love their uniforms because they are a spitting image of the Rebels uniforms, whether that be the top, the pants, or the helmet. But they're going to play a full varsity schedule this year. They won't be in a district or region, so they won't be playoff eligible. But just having a new school in the county is super exciting for people like me, for fans of maybe not one school or any school, but just to add another area of competition to bring. So I'm very much excited, looking forward to that this year in Sumner County, and then just seeing the top recruits in the county, see how they play out. Kenny Minchie, quarterback over at Pope Brett, recently committed to the University of Pittsburgh, and so I'm excited to see how that season plays out. He's got a really dynamic receiver in Colin Wright, and I would love to see if Colin Cook, to see how he plays out this year, just kind of see what his offer list looks like coming into the year, because I think he is arguably the best receiver in all of Division II large, and that is saying something when you look at the likes of schools like Baylor or McCallie or Montgomery Bell Academy, Briarcrest, you name it. I mean, there are a lot of very good athletes, and I think Colin Cook is right up there with one of them. And then you look at a guy like Jaheim Merriweather over at Gallatin, rising junior, who has burst onto the recruiting scene. Really this summer, this spring season, he has taken off. He most recently picked up an offer from Virginia Tech, and pretty much any school not named Tennessee that you could think of. I think he is hoping and waiting that the balls come knocking, because I think he's a little bit of a Tennessee fan. But that's a kid that has really just burst onto the scene. So I'm excited to see what he does, what his season looks like, and how the Gallatin Green Wave will feature him, because he's a running back that's about 6'1", 6'2", and about 185 pounds. Just really projects well at the next level. So a lot of exciting things on the horizon for football season. And I'll be honest with you, George, I haven't paid too much attention to the gridiron this spring, just because it's hard enough to keep my head above water when all the spring sports are chugging along. But we're a couple weeks away from really diving into it. So as we get into the summer months and really get into the weeds of the things, I'm very much excited to see how this football season plays out.
Zach Womble is on the line with us. He knows more about high school football in this state than probably anybody, maybe with the exception of Murphy Fair. But you want me to drop a little bomb on you?
Please do so. Cue up the breaking news noise.
No, I'm not going that far, but you ready?
Okay.
This is a big one. Sources close to the situation are telling me that Arch Manning and his family are considering playing his senior season of football where?
I'm guessing it's in the state of Tennessee.
You're right, Volunteer Breath.
I'm gonna say Middle Tennessee, and just because everybody's going there, I'm gonna say Lipscomb Academy.
McCallie.
Okay.
McCallie.
All right.
Okay, just remember. I can see it. Just remember you heard that.
I'll remember it. I'll write it out. Do you think you think he ends up at Georgia? You think that's where he ends up going?
I have no idea. Look, he has become sort of the poster child of, all these recruiting gurus that want to know, he had Pebbles last night and then he had a Pop-Tart. Who cares?
Right. Yeah.
But
you wonder how much money he's going to garner through NIL.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, there is good reason for all this interest. I mean, after all, Archie Manning alone, a legend at Ole Miss. Eli turned out to be a legend at Ole Miss. And oh, by the way, some guy named Peyton Manning turned out to be a legend not only at the University of Tennessee, but in a pro career where he won a Super Bowl. Eli won a couple. Archie would have if the Saints hadn't been so awful. So I understand the interest in this young guy. I'm just saying this is a rumor. A good source has laid on me. Don't be surprised if he ends up at Macaulay.
Well, that would be huge news for the state of Tennessee, and for Macaulay School, obviously the city of Chattanooga, and just what all that would entail and bring. And so I believe Macaulay comes to Pope Prep this year, and if that's the case, and he does enroll there, then I've got to circle Pope Prep on the calendar as must see in person reporting, must see football game. Because if that's the case, he's obviously a highly touted recruit for a reason. And so if he does come to Hendersonville, if he does come to Pope Prep, you got to think that there are going to be thousands of people busting at the seams to get over to Pope Prep High School.
Tickets are still available. So
yeah,
don't hold me on this. I'm just telling you that a good source has said to me, don't rule it out.
Well, I will not rule it out. I'll keep it on the back burner, George.
Aren't you glad you came on?
You know what? I'm always glad to come on and talk with you, George. You just make the day so much better. We appreciate your insight.
Don't lie to me. You're lying now. Your nose end up being bigger than mine.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want that. Trust me. Hey, thank you for everything you've done this week to help me make this as smooth as possible. We'll talk again down the road.
For sure, George. All right, take care.
Okay, that's Zach Womble. He's good stuff. He knows his high school athletics. It's always fun to talk to him. So does the next guest, Tommy Bryan. Been around as long as I've been, if not maybe more. Stick around. Our coverage of Spring Fling 2022 continues on Main Street Media.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Founded in 2005, Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, has a reputation of consistently offering the lowest possible rates and, above all, providing outstanding customer service. Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, takes pride in treating our clients with honesty and integrity. We provide excellent service and experience you can trust for all your mortgage needs, proudly serving all of Tennessee. Apply today. Call Pamela Witt, First Lending Solutions, 858-518-1506, or online at www.firstlendingonline.com.
NMLS number 314276, ID 135932. It's your last chance to get a spring tune-up for summer. Complete Service Heat and Air can clean your coils, check out your motor, and make sure you have cold air on that first hot day of summer. Complete Service Heat and Air is located in White Bluff, Tennessee. We do service and repair on heating and air the right way. 24/7 service. Call us at 615-797-3997. That's 615-797-3997. Serving Cheatham, Davidson, Dixon, Hickman, Humphreys, Montgomery, and Williamson counties.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best-looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
My name's Kathy, and here I am about a year after I got seriously hurt in a tractor-trailer wreck. All I can say is thank goodness for my mom, because she called attorney Bart Durham, and that was one of the greatest gifts she ever gave me. Bart sure knows tractor-trailer cases. I guess that's why Bart Durham gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
You let us take your case, and we'll take over all the work.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to put our experience to work for you. Give us a call at 242-9000.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links. Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
As a 2-term county commissioner, we built the County Justice Center and the Burns Middle School, all while maintaining a budget surplus. We were able to secure additional funding for all of the volunteer fire departments to get the vital equipment that they need to do their job. I fought on the front lines in Iraq. With your vote, I'll fight on the front lines in our community to give you a voice. Let's do this together.
Paid for by Jeff Eby for State Representative, District 69.
We are back at 2:32, broadcasting live from MTSU's Sports Hall of Fame building, which is beautiful. I'd been in here before, but I was not aware of what a nice job they've done. First of all, big thank you to Chris Massaro, the athletic director at MTSU, and also to Mark Owens, the fine sports information director. They put all this together on really short notice. In the background, you might hear Hall of Famer Tommy Bryan joining us to talk a little sports here on Main Street Media. Tommy, how are you?
Not bad, George. Just left Riverdale's W.T. Jones baseball facility, where Watertown will play for a 2A state championship on Saturday at a site to be determined. They knocked off Loretto 3-0 in the bracket finals there at Riverdale today. Quite the game. Kendall Bays, right-handed pitcher for Watertown, threw a neat 4-hitter, used a lot of off-speed pitches, curveballs, changeups, spotted probably a dozen fastballs or less to win that game. And as fate would have it, He had the game-winning RBI in the top of the seventh, drove in a run, and then Watertown came up with 2 more runs there in the 7th inning and eliminated Loretto. So the Purple Tigers, after going 0-2 last year in their inaugural state tournament appearance, have earned a spot in the finals, a 1-game winner take all on Saturday. They'll play either Pigeon Forge or White House Heritage sometime Saturday afternoon for the championship.
Tommy, what is Watertown's past history as far as is this a school that has won a lot of state titles? I'm asking this because I really don't know.
Watertown has been to the state championships in volleyball. They have had kids do awfully well in track and field. They've gone to the quarterfinals in football. Baseball last year with Mark Purvis, who had been the longtime head coach at Mount Juliet himself, a former assistant coach and player at Cumberland University, had taken Mount Juliet to the state finals once and to the state tournament about 4 times. Is in his 2nd year as the head coach at Watertown. He got the Purple Tigers to the state last year where they lost 2 games in a row, and they were both in walk-off fashion. And this year, those kids, which people would say maybe that's not as good an individual team, doesn't have as many individual players, as good of players as last year's ball club did. But this year, they have gritted it out and gone 3-0 in the state tournament and have reached that state championship, which I think is a pretty neat way to go. Basically, in baseball, they have 2 4-team double elimination brackets, and the survivors of those 2 brackets meet for a 1-game state championship. And as I said, they're trying to figure out if it'll be Pigeon Forge or White House Heritage. That game's going on right now in the other bracket. Winner of that game will play Watertown, 1-game winner take all on Saturday.
Tommy Bryan is on the line with us. He has covered, who knows how many events under the heading of TSSAA. Tommy, nobody seems to really have the answer to this. Who came up with the idea of Spring Fling?
I'm not sure. I know I covered them. I've covered Spring Fling when it was in Chattanooga, and I've covered Spring Fling when it was that one crazy year they had it in West Tennessee. Supposedly everything was in Memphis, but softball was somewhere in northern Mississippi. They didn't have the softball facilities for that. I want to say it was a brainchild of Ronnie Carter and some of his folks back in the day, but it has really blossomed into a one-of-a-kind sports festival for, number one, for the Olympic-style sports, the track and field, but tennis, soccer, baseball, softball all have their championships during this time, and Murfreesboro and the surrounding areas, in fact, have been really nice hosts for this. Wilson Central High School in Wilson County over in Gladeville hosts the AA private bunch, which is Division II AA. The big schools in Division II, they're hosting that state championship as we speak right now. They've got that's Innsworth, MBA, Baylor, etc. All that bunch. Father Ryan, they play in at Wilson Central, a really nice facility at Wilson Central High. But it has proven through the years, Spring Fling has been kind of an all-encompassing deal for the TSSAA, and the on-site direction that they have at each of these facilities is really top of the line. I know from covering Watertown, being at Riverdale High, they're the only TSSAA people there were the officials. Riverdale ran that site, and they had a game coordinator and the press box crew and hospitality folks and concessions. Riverdale's infield is all turf, so you didn't need a grounds crew to work on that field. But using the high school facilities in Rutherford County and again over in Wilson County has proven to be a really good thing for TSSAA. And then softball at the McKnight Park, where you've got McKnight and their 4-field complex and the Starplex with its 4 fields. You've got 8 fields going, and with them adding the 4th classification this year. For years it had been 3 divisions in 3 classes in Division 1. They added the 4th this year, and all those venues, those softball venues, were just packed because instead of having 3 tournaments going on, you've got basically 4 tournaments going on. And they have packed them in there at Starplex and at McKnight.
Which is terrific to hear. Tommy, before I let you go, we're a little more than 2 months away from hearing a lot of football talk. Give me a piece of news that you know that might be interesting to our viewers.
Well, Lebanon High is coming off a best ever record of 11-2 last season. They've got their quarterback, Jalen Abston, returning, who's the all-time single-season passing leader at Lebanon High, approaching 3,000 yards in a single season, 27 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. He's back for his senior year. They've got a slot back receiver type in Anthony Crowell, who had about 2,000 yards in all-purpose yards last year.
Wow.
Kick returns, punt returns, receiving, rushing. He scored touchdowns 5 different ways. They've got the bulk of their offensive front returning, 2 offensive tackles, Eli Freeman and Aiden Donnell. It took me a second there. 2 offensive tackles are both coming back, and they both have multiple Division I offers. It could be another stellar year for Lebanon High football. They've got their defensive front returns intact from last year. Chuck Gentry has really got it going at Lebanon High, and that's in 6A football. In 5A football, Green Hill is coming off a great year. They won they had double-digit wins and won their 5A region. Green Hill's got a lot of kids coming back, so it looks to be another solid year in football come this fall in Wilson County.
Beautiful. Tommy, can't thank you enough for taking the time to come on with us.
All right.
Beautiful. Tommy Bryan, he is a Hall of Famer on a lot of different levels. One of those being great writer. He's been covering high school sports in this state for a long, long time. We thank him for being with us. Tyler Palmatier, he's a little younger than Tommy Bryan, but he's pretty darn good. He's in the On Deck Circle. He will join us next as our coverage of the 2022 Spring Fling Championships continues on Main Street Media.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Lee Realty Group has officially teamed up with Keller Williams. Lee Realty is still locally owned and operated, but now associated with one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. If you're ready to get your home on the market but don't know where to start, call the Keller Williams Lee Realty Group in Dixon, Tennessee. Let experienced agents help you with your real estate needs. Call us today at 615-446-2006. We service all of Middle Tennessee. Visit our Facebook page at Keller Williams Lee Realty.
State Farm Micah Blunt Agency is proud to bring you coverage from the 2022 Spring Fling. Micah was born and raised in Tennessee and takes pride in providing the highest degree of protection for all customers. State Farm offers auto, home, and life insurance at the price you can afford. Located in Dixon, Tennessee, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Micah and his team a call today to help with all of your insurance needs. Serving all of Tennessee, call 615-229-2999. That's 615-229-2999.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
We are back. Let me give you a couple of updates out of the SEC baseball tournament. Looks to me like Vandy's in trouble. They're down 3-1 to a Kentucky team that is a 12 seed. And you might remember Kentucky pulled the upset of Auburn a couple of days ago in a single elimination, knocking Auburn out. Vandy got pummeled last night by Tennessee, number 1 team in the nation. Tennessee, by the way, will play LSU tonight, somewhere around 8 o'clock Nashville time. But Vandy is down 3-1 to Kentucky in the top of the 5th and really not getting a whole lot done. That's the latest. We can update you on that. Billy Derrick will rejoin me today around 3:50, 3:55 with a final update. The weather down there is pretty nice. Looks like the sun has come out. The same really cannot be said here in Murfreesboro. Tyler Palmatier is with me. We're going to talk a little bit of soccer with him. Tyler, how are you?
Well, I'm doing much better now, George. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can hear you good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, good deal. Yeah, the weather really cleared up. Yesterday, by the time we got to the D2 AA final with Father Ryan and Baylor, I mean, it was beautiful. It was just like classic Tennessee skies and breeze blowing. Everything started to dry out, and today we've got a little more cloudy, but it's super pretty. So after a kind of a rough week, weather-wise, we're kind of we got a shot of adrenaline here. We got some vitamin D coming from the sun, and I think we're ready for the final push.
Well, tell me about the final push. What are you covering? What are you looking for? Lay it all out there for me.
Yeah, right now we're at halftime in the Class AA final with Page leading Ballard College Prep as well. And it's really a super interesting matchup because you've got Page that was so close to winning a state title last year and really has kind of just built a really good soccer program as of late. And they lost with 15 seconds left in that game to Sevier County. It was scoreless. The only goal of the game got put in with 15 seconds left before we were about to head to 2 OT. So on that side, you've got a really experienced Page team that knows what it's doing and is really on a mission. And then Ballard on the other side is the new kid in town. That soccer program is only 2 years old, and so this is really new for them. And they have brought what I would assume is close to the whole school population over here in the stands. It's a really electric atmosphere. So
yeah,
we'll see how the second half goes. I mean, Page is kind of the team with the experience and has been here and may know how to handle the stage better. But this isn't a blowout yet. So 40 more minutes to go.
Tyler, best as you know, how has Valor in only 2 years risen this quickly?
Yeah, Russell Vanazzi, our editor, went out there and wrote a feature about them earlier this year. Definitely worth a read at mainstreetpreps.com, if you're interested in kind of just, it's really a story of growth. There's so many schools around Nashville, and Valor's demographics really just are kind of conducive for a great soccer team. There's a ton of diversity, and kids come from all over, but from a lot of places where soccer is the main sport. So they've got not a ton of sports right now, but in terms of soccer, these kids come from soccer playing communities and families and countries. There's a lot of different languages spoken at Valley College Prep. So this is their main dish right now. Until they get a lot of other sports going, this is it. This is how they've done it. It's a good group of guys. They're well coached, and all of them have soccer pedigree. So that's really kind of how it's happened, and it's really stirred up a lot of excitement here.
Okay, we know where you are right now. The rest of the day, kind of lay out what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah, well, after this one is Brentwood Bearden, which I would think Bearden is probably the favorite in that one, but I don't know. Brentwood would love to hear that. I mean, it's a pretty storied program too, but Bearden is just they have one of the best scorers in the state, Lucas Norden, who has put in a school record 36 goals this season after his hat-trick against Franklin earlier this week. So that's probably the best individual scorer we've got in this tournament, and it's going to be all about just stopping him. I mean, if he goes off and has a multiple goal day, then you're kind of in trouble. I think you just maybe want to keep him to a goal, and maybe that's your winning formula. I mean, if he gets a goal, whatever, you got to get one to win, or one anyway. So but maybe just limit him to one. That's kind of the story there, and then of course we'll just kind of see how it plays out. But yeah, as far as the rest of the day after that, I'll just kind of be score watching. I think Lipscomb Academy is in a tight one right now with McCauley over in the D2 AA baseball championship, trying to force the if necessary there, which would be later today. Donaldson Christian Academy softball was down big against Columbia Academy in D2 single A earlier. So that's still kind of out there, just kind of waiting for results. George. It could just be soccer for me today, which after a long week, I wouldn't complain about.
No, I bet you wouldn't. So will all the soccer be over today or any of it spill over into Saturday?
Yeah, no, soccer's done. The only thing spilling into Saturday is, if necessary, softball and baseball.
Yeah.
Ideally, I just did those pairings earlier. I ought to know, but it's pretty easy to get them all confused in your head. But I believe there's nothing scheduled tomorrow that wouldn't be an if necessary. Now, I could be wrong. Just let me say that.
Don't hold you to
they've
it.
done pretty well. We're kind of good. I mean, as far as stuff that's gone in Saturday, that ended up being pretty minimal. They're in good shape considering the kind of rain and storm systems that came through here.
Okay, listen. First of all, I want to thank you for putting up with me this week with all of the reports that you've done. You've had some great info. I hope our listeners and viewers have really gotten a little bit of a taste of these championships because they are very cool. Tyler, thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, anytime, George. And I've kind of been the soccer guy for the most part this week. So that's kind of been my area or whatever. And it turned out to be really good for me because there's a Nashville team in every final except for Class A. So it's been a really good year for Nashville soccer, and I'm happy to help you guys out anytime.
That's awesome. Tyler Palmatier joining us here on the show. When we come back, we got a lot of things going on, but Russell Van Ozee will check in with us, and we will find out more about Lipscomb Academy as they make the run to a state title in baseball. Stick around. Our coverage of Spring Fling 2022 continues here on Main Street Media.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Lee Realty Group has officially teamed up with Keller Williams. Lee Realty is still locally owned and operated, but now associated with one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. If you're ready to get your home on the market but don't know where to start, call the Keller Williams Lee Realty Group in Dixon, Tennessee. Let experienced agents help you with your real estate needs. Call us today at 615-446-2006. We service all of Middle Tennessee. Visit our Facebook page at Keller Williams Lee Realty.
State Farm Micah Blunt Agency is proud to bring you coverage from the 2022 Spring Fling. Micah was born and raised in Tennessee and takes pride in providing the highest degree of protection for all customers. State Farm offers auto, home, and life insurance at the price you can afford. Located in Dixon, Tennessee, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Micah and his team a call today to help with all of your insurance needs. Serving all of Tennessee, call 615-229-2999. That's 615-229-2999.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
Other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Main Street Sports Today, live from Spring Fling 2022, is brought to you in part by Complete Service Heat and Air, Keller Williams Lee Realty, First Lending Solutions, and Pamela Witt. State Farm, Micah Blunt Agency. Jeff Eby for State Representative. Riverside Golf Links. Jody Jones, DDS. And by Bart Durham Injury Law. Broadcasting live from the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, filling in for Mo and Chris, here's George Plaster.
This has been fun this week. It's given me a little bit of an idea of what I'm getting into come July the 11th. That's when the George Plaster Show will debut. Watson Brown will be a part of that. Billy Derrick will also be a part of it. Billy has done a terrific job with our coverage of the SEC baseball tournament down in Birmingham. But our focus is on Spring Fling 2022. Our buddy Russell Van Ozee is on the line with us, and I know he's ready to talk a little baseball. And Russell, that's always music to my ears as a baseball fan. Tell me what's going on.
All right, George, we're out here. We got a big one. It's the Division II Single A state title game. North Point Christian has a 7-4 lead over Good Pasture right now. We are in the top of the 6th inning, so still a little bit, couple innings here, but yeah, it's been a pretty good one so far. North Point jumped out to a big lead, 6-0. Now Good Pasture's kind of slowly worked their way back into it, but Good Pasture does have a game in hand. So if North Point wins this game, we'll play a game 2 right afterward to decide state champion.
Russell, what is Good Pasture's past history as far as state title kind of stuff in baseball?
Oh, well, they've been good. They've been really good. They have not won a title in 10 years. Their last one was in 2012. But they've been to the state tournament 20 times, and they've got 8 titles in those 20 trips. So a pretty good ratio there of titles to state trips. And, like I said, they haven't had one in 10 years. And so if they could get one today, it obviously would be huge and kind of add to that long history that they've got over there in Madison.
When you get to the title games, whether it's, the single elimination or best 2 out of 3, can you tell as a reporter the pressure these young kids are feeling?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Good Pasture's starting pitcher came out here, struggled quite a bit to throw strikes. That's kind of why they got out of hand there early. But, there's the opposing dugouts giving him some ribbing, and the emotions are high, and he gets a strikeout, and then he's kind of jawing back with them a little bit. And you can just tell there's some extra juice out here today. We've actually got, I'm pretty sure the North Point Christian crowd has got maybe a long lost cousin of the Vanderbilt Whistler out here, because you might hear it. I hope it doesn't come over the phone, but there's a high pitched shrill. It's just about constant out here. There's another guy with blue hair, big blue hair wig. I don't know if it's the same person doing both of those things, but definitely some extra juice out here this afternoon.
Did you say blue hair?
Oh yeah, nice blue wig to go with the North Point, I guess baby blue color scheme they got going on. So he fits right in.
Where's North Point located?
Yeah, that's a funny story too. They're actually in DeSoto, Mississippi, so right across the Tennessee state line. And the way that I have heard the story went is that it used to be called something else, and it was on I guess the Memphis side or the Tennessee side.
Right.
And they were part of the TSSAA, and then they moved a few miles down the street that happens to be in Mississippi, and they let them stay because there's really not a whole lot of private schools in that area, in that western Mississippi area. So they let them stay in the TSSAA to basically play all the Memphis private schools and then compete for state championships here in Tennessee.
Interesting. Now that's the kind of info that you don't get from just any show. That's why Russell is so good at what he does. So we've got a Mississippi school competing for the Tennessee State Championship.
Yes, I've got to give Maurice Patton credit for that one. He kind of steered everybody straight about that last week on Twitter, because I was curious, because North Point was in this same game last year against CPA, and CPA won it. You see the Mississippi tagline with their school, and it's a little confusing, but Maurice kind of set the story straight there because he's in the know. So I got to give him credit for that one.
So the likelihood is they're going to play a second game, and I'm guessing you would be there if that happens. If it doesn't play out that way, what's the rest of your day look like?
Oh, well, It kind of depends on, definitely depends on what happens here. And then we've got Brady Max up at Lipscomb baseball right now. They're in a tight one with Macaulay, and that's another one of those games like Lipscomb needs to win to keep it alive. So if there's a chance for a game 2 there, and then DCA softball lost to Columbia Academy earlier, so they've got an elimination game coming up at 4. So those are kind of the 3 that I'm keeping an eye on as kind of the Nashville person, along with Tyler Palmetier. We got Good Pasture baseball, Lipscomb Academy baseball, and DCA softball are the ones that we're trying to keep tabs on, even though it's kind of a hectic day with elimination games and all that.
So this is a dumb question, but I've had a bunch of dumb questions. At the end of the day, because you all are all over the place. I sit in here with a nice chair, nice room. I'm on the air for 2 hours yapping. How exhausted are you all at the end of the day?
Pretty tired. Yeah, it goes pretty late just because there's so many things that go into, keeping the website updated and getting all the photo galleries set. And, I mean, I think we've pretty much been up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning every night. And I don't know that it's necessarily hit me yet. Maybe when I get home later tonight or tomorrow, like home and back in my home bed, it'll hit me. But this is kind of the speed that we've been operating with a lot of the year during football season, at times during basketball. And so you kind of just dig deep and you get some caffeine and you make it work, and try to sleep in whenever possible too, to kind of make up for that, for those late nights.
But what's the thing my dad used to say? This is what you wanted.
Oh yeah. No, when you agree to take one of these jobs, you know what you're getting into. So I think that's kind of part of the fun. And I'll tell you what, though, next week I'm planning to very much stay in my house and just do kind of what needs to be done, and then clock out for the day.
You'll be a vegetable.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. The truth of it is, Russell, this is what I tell a lot of young people. May not get rich, but probably have more fun with the jobs we do than 90 to 95% of people that are out there in a workforce.
Oh, definitely. I've got a business degree from Lipscomb. I could definitely be sitting at some corporate office right now with well-dressed and staring at a computer screen and doing Excel spreadsheets. But, I'm out here with a lawn chair enjoying some baseball. So it definitely could be a lot worse.
Okay, lead me with this. I've asked everybody today this question. We got football a little more than 2 months away. You cover it, and you cover it very well. Give me a piece of info to kind of wet everybody's whistle for the fact that, what are we, 2.5 months away from high school football? Let's hear something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, something I'm really keeping an eye on this going into this year is just the quarterback scene here in the Nashville area. We've got 3 of like the top 25 in the country for the class of 2023. That's the juniors now. They're going to be seniors this fall. There's Kenny Minchie over at Pope Prep in Hendersonville. He just committed to Pittsburgh, to follow up Kenny Pickett, who was just a first-round draft pick to the Steelers.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good landing spot there. And then we've got Marcel Reed.
Hey, stop there just a second. What was there a connection to Pittsburgh, or did they just do that good a recruiting job?
I think it was a pretty good recruiting job because I did a story on Kenny Minchie a few weeks ago, and he basically told me that one of the support staff guys that was on staff at Vanderbilt this past year had been recruiting him pretty heavily to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, there was mutual interest there, and then he went up to Pittsburgh, and I guess Minchie kind of got in touch with him there, kind of reconnected, and went up for a visit and had an offer. And I guess he kind of sees all the success that they've had, producing quarterbacks and winning the ACC last year. He felt like that was going to be a good move for him over staying home to play for Vanderbilt.
Okay, I stopped you. You were about to get to Marcel Reed.
Oh yeah, Marcel Reed. He's another guy that's in the top 25 in the country. He committed to Ole Miss a few weeks ago, or I guess about a month ago now. And then there's also Chris Parson down at Ravenwood, who's a longtime Florida State commitment. So it's amazing when you look at the rankings. You see California, Florida, all these Texas, all the typical areas where big time high school recruits come out of. But then you've got 3 basically Nashville guys all there in the top 20, 25 quarterbacks in the country. So there's plenty of good quarterback play to be had around the mid-state, and that's, I think, going to make for a fun season.
Okay, I'm going to ask one more question on that. Is that just Coincidence, or is there something more behind this?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, there it certainly helps that in recent years the population growth of Nashville, it's just kind of increased the potential talent pool here. I think it's a desirable area that people want to come to, so families are moving in from maybe areas that are more expensive. And like Chris Parson, he was from here, but then he moved back to town from Texas after starting for a school there in Texas for a little bit. And I don't know, I think it's probably more coincidental than anything, but it certainly helps to have good coaching around and facilities and things like that where these kids can go and train and learn, how to be a great quarterback.
Russell, great stuff as always. First of all, thank you for everything you've done for us throughout the entire week. You've had great reports. I know at times this can be getting right in the middle of your coverage. So number one, I really appreciate it. And secondly, enjoy the rest of the weekend, kick back, enjoy Memorial Day weekend.
All right. Thanks, George. You guys have a great weekend too. And congrats on the new show. Looking forward to listening to that when it comes around in July.
Hey, thank you. Looking forward to doing it. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks, George. See you later.
That's Russell Van Ozee from Main Street Media, and he does a terrific job. After the break, we'll find out what Brady Mack is up to. I know it's baseball related. As it got mentioned earlier, he's covering one of the championships going on right now. And so we will check in with him. I'll tell you, Kentucky has thoroughly dominated Vandy. It's now 5-1 Cats in the bottom of the fifth. This appears to be a year, and it hadn't happened very often, where Tim Corbin simply does not have the horses. Tell you who does. You already know the answer. It's Tennessee, and they play tonight at 8 o'clock against LSU, and they are loaded. They are a real threat to win it all in Omaha in late June. We'll come back. Our 2022 coverage of Spring Fling continues on Main Street Media.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
We are back as we broadcast live. This is day 4 of our coverage of Spring Fling. George Plaster with you. By the way, my new show will debut Monday, July the 11th. Watson Brown will be a part of it. Billy Derrick, who's done such a good job with our SEC reports all week, will also be a part of that. We are very much looking forward. 6 weeks from Monday, we will crank it up. Hard to believe, 6 weeks. Let's check in with Brady Mack. I know he's covering baseball. I have no idea where. Brady, lay it on me.
Hey, George. So I am currently at Wilson Central covering Lipscomb Academy versus Macaulay baseball.
Well, tell me what's going on.
Man, if only it was that easy. This game has been pretty nuts. It is currently 9-9 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Macaulay has 2 runners on base, 2 outs. But looking at the scoreboard, I'll spare you all the gruesome details, but there's been about 5 lead changes in this game. As soon as one team looked like they might be out of it, they put on 4 spots. And it's been pretty insane, man. There's been a lot going on here.
So 9-9 suggests there hadn't been a whole lot of pitching. Kind of fill us in on who has to do what. Is this an elimination game for either one of them?
So this is an elimination game for Lipscomb Academy. If they lose this game, Macaulay is the D2 2A champion. But if Lipscomb Academy wins this game, that'll send it to a winner-take-all game that will be later this afternoon. So that's really what they're looking forward to right now, is kind of surviving in the dance.
So if it's over, kind of tell me what you'll be covering tonight, or will you?
Yeah, so I will be covering tonight Clarksville softball versus Farragut.
Give me a little bit on Lipscomb and their past history. Obviously, they're going for a state title today in baseball. Mm-hmm. What's their past history in this?
So this is their actually first Final Four appearance since 2011. So it's been 11 years since they've gotten here. I guess 10 seasons if you count that COVID year. But it's been a little while for them. None of these kids were here around for that time. They were still in elementary school at the time. So this is big for the program, big for the coaching staff and the community. The community has showed out. They've lined the bleachers. They've lined the whole first base line. They're here. They're showing out. They're excited.
Okay, so I've asked this question to a few of the other reporters. What is this like covering for a full week? Because this appears to be a 9 in the morning to 2 in the morning kind of deal. You all have to be exhausted.
Yeah, I will say it is pretty exhausting, but there are things worse than covering sports for a job. While it does get tiring, and I'm not gonna lie and say I don't miss my own bed and having some time to maybe take a quick nap, but it's a fun time. We'll have some time finally after this to maybe take a load off for a couple of days. Just kind of trying to get to that finish line, but for now I am definitely enjoying the ride.
What you really said there, Brady, is exactly what I tell young people. You may not get rich, but at your 40th high school reunion, you will be able to say, I've had more fun with my job than anybody else in the class.
Absolutely.
I say that because I know.
Yeah, you are speaking from experience.
Oh, yeah. My 40th was 4 years ago. How about that?
Oh, so you're coming up on 45.
Yeah, don't rub it in. We're trying to subtract. Hey, we're trying to subtract, not add.
You're right.
Okay.
Hey, you're still kicking. You're still going strong.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so. Okay. I've been doing this with everybody because as this thing winds down, there's not the abundance of info that there has been. Football's 2.5 months away. Give me a piece of football news that that our viewers might be interested in.
Yeah, so the big team that I'm looking at this year is going to be Clarksville High. They've made it to the top 16, I believe, in the classification last year, or top 32, second round of the tournament, and they did that without a quarterback. They upset a top-seeded Cane Ridge, and they had a running back and quarterback, so they barely were able to throw the ball this year. They're getting their quarterback back. He participated in the Elite 11 camp at Nashville last week. They've got one of their top running backs back. They got a great running back. So I think that's going to be a really good team led by Isaac Shelby, who has been doing this for quite a while.
You brought up Elite 11 camp. There are probably a bunch of people out there saying, what do they do at one of those camps? What can you tell me?
Well, that's really just kind of a place where, they invite some of the top quarterbacks in the area, and they kind of just go run some drills, show off what they got. It's really a chance for them to get discovered, work with some of the other great quarterbacks in the area, build relationships with both their fellow high schoolers and with some coaches and trainers in the area. So it's a really cool opportunity for guys to be able to do that and get invited to that.
So, but not a 7-on-7 kind of deal.
Not necessarily. No, it's mostly a quarterback camp.
Okay. Listen, really appreciate the info you've given us throughout the week. Can't thank you enough. I know you got better things to do than be yapping with me, but I really appreciate it. I've enjoyed it.
Hey, it is my pleasure, George. Thank you for taking over for this week.
Oh, yeah. Brady Mack. Good stuff. Covering baseball, Lipscomb Academy in a do or die right now in a 9-9 tie. And what does that mean? It means there's not a dadgum bit of pitching going on. Man, offense ahead of the defense at the moment. Okay, after the break, the guy that ought to be hosting this is Chris Yao. He and Maurice Patton do a wonderful job from 2 to 4 every day, and then I'll be following them come July the 11th from 4 to 6 p.m. with Watson Brown and Billy Derrick. Chris will join us after the break. We'll check in on what's going on down in Birmingham later in the hour with Billy Derrick, so stick around. Our coverage of the 2022 Spring Fling Championships continues on Main Street Media.
My name's Kathy, and here I am about a year after I got seriously hurt in a tractor-trailer wreck. All I can say is thank goodness for my mom, because she called attorney Bart Durham, and that was one of the greatest gifts she ever gave me. Bart sure knows tractor-trailer cases. I guess that's why Bart Durham gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
You let us take your case, and we'll take over all the work.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to put our experience to work for you. Give us a call at 242-9000.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links. Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Eby, and I'm running to be your state representative in District 69. I will provide leadership and a voice at the state level for our community. I've been an active leader in Dixon County for 25 years, and I've seen our district continue to experience change, but oftentimes your voice just isn't heard. That will change with my leadership.
Paid for by Jeff Eby for State Representative, District 69.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Lee Realty Group has officially teamed up with Keller Williams. Lee Realty is still locally owned and operated, but now associated with one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. If you're ready to get your home on the market but don't know where to start, call the Keller Williams Lee Realty Group in Dixon, Tennessee. Let experienced agents help you with your real estate needs. Call us today at 615-4 446-2006. We service all of Middle Tennessee. Visit our Facebook page at Keller Williams Lee Realty.
State Farm Micah Blunt Agency is proud to bring you coverage from the 2022 Spring Fling. Micah was born and raised in Tennessee and takes pride in providing the highest degree of protection for all customers. State Farm offers auto, home, and life insurance at the price you can afford. Located in Dixon, Tennessee, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Micah and his team a call today to help with all of your insurance needs. Serving all of Tennessee, call 615-229-2999. That's 615-229-2999.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Okay, 3:26 is the time. In a moment, the Hall of Famer Maurice Patton will join us. I'm looking over here to the left, and Vandy is getting ripped in the SEC baseball tournament to the tune of 5-1 to the 12 seed Kentucky. Mo, how you doing?
Mo is not available
right
now, George. This is Chris again.
Hello, Chris.
I am doing fine. How are you?
Good. I've come to the conclusion, and I guess I've seen them enough now. I just don't think Vandy's very good. And it's a shock to say that about a Tim Corbin team. I don't see a lick of offense out of this team.
Yeah, not much offense at all. It's unfortunate to see starting pitcher Chris McElvain get roughed up a little bit out of Summit High School. Just a really unfortunate situation that they find themselves in today against Kentucky. But they are threatening right now with 2 on, and just kidding, they are not. They struck out.
Well, that was quick.
2 on, and 2 out, and just couldn't quite make anything happen. Again, like you said, just can't hit the baseball, and if you can't hit the baseball, you can't win the Southeastern Conference. That's just how it is. So,
Chris, help me with this on them. I get the fact that their pitching is not nearly as good. You know, you lose 2 of the best 5 pitchers in the country a year ago in Kumar Rocker and then Jack Leiter. But when I look at their everyday 8, I don't see any punch.
No, this Vanderbilt team is just, they're built a little differently. And I think that obviously, losing what they lost off of last year's team. And, I'm just not sure how the extra year of COVID has affected Vanderbilt, if it has affected them as much negatively as it has helped some other teams positively, which I know it has. Perhaps they're not able to recruit the way that they have wanted to recruit. There's so many question marks. It's just the way that college sports in general are right now. A lot more parity across a lot more sports because of that extra year of eligibility. When teams like Alabama in football are losing great players, and everybody else is keeping their older guys and core guys together. Or same thing potentially in baseball. So it's been interesting to watch over the last couple of years. There's no question, but Vanderbilt's just not built right now. They can't hit the ball. They don't have great pitching. It's kind of tough to watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're really not very good at much of anything. And I guess it's a little hard to believe when you see a Tim Corbin team. And, I'll be curious. They're going to get into the NCAA tournament. They've got a really good RPI. Strength of schedule is off the charts. They'll probably be a 2 seed. I just don't see any zip in them at all.
No, they're going to get a 2 seed, and they may even have to travel out west, which would be really unfortunate for them. I'd hate to see them in some place like Corvallis, but
they've been there before.
Yeah, it would be tough to watch that. I got a feeling, but yeah, I mean, even as a 2 seed, I don't know that they could, that this team would even get to the region finals.
So tell me a little bit about what you're doing today, what you might be doing before all this is over, because I have no idea.
Well, it's real simple. This morning I watched, I told you on, what was it, Wednesday, that I watched Class A girls tennis.
Right.
And Summertown's team won the girls Class A state championship. Well, this morning at 11 o'clock, their doubles team of Gracie Kelly and Ella Kinnick also won the doubles state championship, and that they makes them back-to-back state champs. So well done to them. Loretto and Summertown played for the 7th time in softball this morning, the 7th time this season. Going into the game, Summertown was 5-1 against Loretto, but Loretto pulled it out 4-3. And so Loretto will move on to the losers bracket finals, where they'll take on the loser of Forest and Alcoa, who play at 5:30. So they'll play tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock against the loser of that game, and the winner will then take on that Forest Alcoa winner for the state championship tomorrow afternoon. Columbia Academy softball defeated Donaldson Christian earlier today, and that puts them into the state championship game that will take place at 5:30 tonight. So you've got Columbia Academy in the state championship game at 5:30. We will be covering that from at MS_sports today, at Mopat_sports, and at Chris Yao 14. You can find wall-to-wall coverage of that game tonight. Again, it'll be the Class A D2 state championship softball game. So that is what we're doing. And tomorrow, again, Loretto will be in the losers bracket finals with a chance to go to the state championship game in softball. Just making this their second appearance in the state softball tournament, George. And last year they were in Class A, and they moved up to Class 2A this year and made their way back. So kudos to the Lady Mustangs.
Normally this is Chris Yao and Maurice Patton's time slot. I'm filling in for them for the 4 days of Spring Fling. They'll be back with you, what? I'm guessing Tuesday?
That's correct.
Okay.
We're gonna grill out at George Plaster's house on Monday. Oh, I mean, at our house is on Monday.
Which is good, because I'm not sure I'll be there.
Well, even if you weren't, we're not worried about it. You're being there as long as the grill's available.
Right, and let me also throw it back at you. If you decide to grill out Sunday, I can be there.
No, okay. Well, that may be the plan. That may be the plan. No, I think I'm actually going to go down to Protective Stadium on Sunday for a 1 o'clock kick and the Birmingham Stallions and Pittsburgh Maulers. So should be a lot of fun.
Have you been at all?
I did. I went to the opening game. It was fantastic. Had a lot of fun. About 25,000 people in the stadium. It was a pretty decent atmosphere.
Okay, that obviously was Birmingham's game.
Yes.
Because you could take all the rest of the games
and not hit 25,000.
And not get to 25,000.
No.
Okay, so tell me what it was like. I do want to know.
It was really interesting. I thought they did a really good job trying to get the crowd into it. It was pretty good football, to be honest. It just was lucky that the guy who caught the first touchdown pass in league history was actually from the Birmingham metro area. And he actually plays for New Jersey. So, and then for Birmingham, they obviously got the win. It was a come from behind win in the second half with the backup quarterback. You don't see that very often. So it was really interesting to watch as the crowd was into it, and they have been throughout. And obviously you can attribute their passion to Birmingham being 6-0 right now in the league, and the only team left undefeated.
Does this league have a chance long term?
I'd like to think so. The reason I think so, I think they're doing it the right way on the front end. You know, they've kept their expenses down. They've done a really good job. Birmingham has helped them out a lot. Obviously, giving them the stadiums for free. They don't have to move anybody around. You know, their cameras are set up. They're ready to go. They don't have to do anything as far as, you know, getting players to different cities like the XFL is going to do. They've changed their contracts to not allow their contracted players to leave for the XFL. So I think their salaries have gone up a little bit. They're doing a really good job on the front end. So we'll see. I'm always skeptical of any league that Birmingham is in, just because we've never had one last very long. So, but I would love to see it succeed, and I think they do have the ability, just because, you know, Fox owns it, and they have, you know, if they can keep the NBC contract as well, Fox and NBC have really done a really good job. 6-figure viewers on every game, so that's always positive.
So you have not seen a Jeff Fisher game?
I have not seen a Jeff Fisher game, and although I think he made the right call cutting Shea Patterson. I didn't think it was a great move to draft him number 1 overall in the first place, but I understand, you know, you're trying to create a fan base up in Michigan for a team that doesn't play there. I can kind of understand it that way, but it was a bad move from the start, and it didn't work out. Paxton Lynch probably not going to be much better, but we'll see.
Yeah, Paxton Lynch, for those of you who don't remember, a University of Memphis standout. Didn't quite happen that way, though, on the pro level.
No, he stood out. He stood out for other reasons in Denver.
Yeah.
He was standing outside the stadium because they wouldn't let him play.
Well, that is rough. Hey, have a good weekend. Tell Mo I said hello. Tell him we need to get the Braves a sweep this weekend of Miami, and that will not be easy.
No, it never is. Miami's a tough ball club, and the Braves winning more than 2 games in a row, well, hasn't happened. So certainly a sweep is not easy by no means. It doesn't matter if we're playing the Bad News Bears.
Chris, appreciate all the efforts this week. Thank you for coming on. We'll be listening Tuesday. I gotta get through this listening thing. I'm no longer on radio.
It is where you do listen, though. Most of the folks are listening. They're not watching us necessarily, but yeah, I think I get it. I get it. The terminology is much different. We've struggled as well. I feel you.
Talk to you.
So yeah.
Chris Yao, good stuff. I have not been to one of these USFL games in Birmingham. However, would I be willing to? Yeah, one time. I don't think more than once. Anyway, after the break, let me pull up. I believe Blaine Keller is our final reporter before we go back down to Birmingham and talk with Billy Derrick, and that is absolutely the case. Blaine Keller will join us. Sorry for looking so stupid. After the break, our coverage of the 2022 Spring Fling Championships continues right here on Main Street Media.
My name's Kathy, and here I am about a year after I got seriously hurt in a tractor-trailer wreck. All I can say is thank goodness for my mom, because she called attorney Bart Durham, and that was one of the greatest gifts she ever gave me. Bart sure knows tractor-trailer cases. I guess that's why Bart Durham gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
You let us take your case, and we'll take over all the work.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to put our experience to work for you. Give us a call at 242-9000.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links. Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Eby, and I'm running to be your state representative in District 69. I will provide leadership and a voice at the state level for our community. I've been an active leader in Dixon County for 25 years, and I've seen our district continue to experience change, but oftentimes your voice just isn't heard. That will change with my leadership.
Paid for by Jeff Eby for State Representative, District 69.
Final segment of the week. We'll do a little bit of spring fling. We'll do a little bit of SEC baseball tournament in this final segment. Thanks to both Chris Yao and Maurice Patton for allowing me this opportunity for 4 days. It's really given me some insight into what it is we're going to do starting July the 11th when Watson Brown and Billy Derrick join me for our debut show. Let's say hello to Blaine Keller and find out where he is and what he's covering. Blaine, how are you?
I am hanging in there, George. How about you? I'm sure a couple of days on this show has worn you out just as me.
No, look, who's kidding who? I'm sitting in here in a nice chair for 2 hours, not a lick of work. You all are out busting it. So what has this been like? Because I've got to think at the end of the day, you are wiped out.
Yeah, I think it's all a matter of perspective sometimes. I mean, you could say, you are, I am quite a bit tired from covering all these games, but at the same time, I'm not the ones out there on the field doing all that manual labor. So I guess it's all a matter of perspective sometimes.
Okay, I can hear it in the background. Where are you? What's going on?
We are at Stewart's Creek right now for the Class 2A state semifinal in baseball. White House Heritage is playing Pigeon Forge. The Patriots had to stave off elimination against Forest in extra innings to reach this point, and they are trailing 11-2 to Pigeon Forge in the 5th inning right now.
Tell AJ to do something. That's coming in loud and clear.
Yeah, we are right behind the backstop here, which is conveniently located directly in front of the bleachers for attendees of Stewart's Creek and of Spring Fling. So,
sure.
I haven't had that issue yet, mainly because I haven't had to call in from Stewart's Creek yet, but we'll see if we can tone it down a little bit.
So tell me, when this event is over, anything else left on your plate, or is that it?
I mean, there's, if somebody were to win it all from Robertson County, of course, it all comes down to, these 2 Robertson County teams remaining in White House Heritage and Joe Burns with softball. If one of them were to win it all, of course, you try to get as much coverage on that as you can. But, both of these clubs are making their first trip to the Spring Fling in school history. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack, I think. And even with games maybe coming to a close at the end of the week, there's still more to cover as the summer rolls along.
Okay. You want to close this out the way all our football, I just gave it away. Football season's 2.5 months away. Give me a piece of news that that you think our viewers would enjoy.
Sure. If you're a fan of Robertson County football, there's 2 new coaches in the county this season in East Robertson and White House Heritage. One of them from the other, ironically enough. White House Heritage is Chad Broderick, Gallatin assistant who was a East Robertson football coach just quite a couple of years ago. He's taking his second ever head coaching job at Heritage. And at East Robertson, you've got Chase Brooks, former quarterbacks coach, if I'm not mistaken, with Beach. So you've got two younger guys, 2 promising coaches taking over in Robertson County, and it should be pretty exciting to see what they get up to.
Blaine, really appreciate all of your efforts this week. You've been a huge help on this show. Like I said, I just sit back here in a chair and yap a little bit, but you all are out there supplying all the info. I really appreciate it. You have a good Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, George. Same to you.
That's Blaine Keller. He is one of a bunch of reporters, Main Street Media. And let me kind of move up in the chair here for a second. Main Street Media has what I would call an army of young high school reporters. Dave Gould, who runs this company, has done a marvelous job getting all these people. And it's an amazing thing to watch this machine in action. You may or may not know much about this company. You're going to find out more in the days to come because they are really on the move. I get the feeling we may need to go to a break before we go down to Birmingham. And so that's exactly what we'll do. Our coverage of the 2022 Spring Fling Championships continues on Main Street Media.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Lee Realty Group has officially teamed up with Keller Williams. Lee Realty is still locally owned and operated, but now associated with one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. If you're ready to get your home on the market but don't know where to start, call the Keller Williams Lee Realty Group in Dixon, Tennessee. Let experienced agents help you with your real estate needs. Call us today at 615-446-2006. We service all of Middle Tennessee. Visit our Facebook page at Keller Williams Lee Realty.
State Farm Micah Blunt Agency is proud to bring you coverage from the 2022 Spring Fling. Micah was born and raised in Tennessee and takes pride in providing the highest degree of protection for all customers. State Farm offers auto, home, and life insurance at the price you can afford. Located in Dixon, Tennessee, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Give Micah and his team a call today to help with all of your insurance needs. Serving all of Tennessee, call 615-229-2999. That's 615-229-2999.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl in Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Okay, I'm told that we may have some trouble heading down to Birmingham to get a hold of Billy Derrick. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to happen. So I take a look to the left on that big screen up there. We've got the Vandy Kentucky game on. Kentucky is becoming maybe the surprise of this tournament. They're a 12 seed. They've already knocked Auburn out. They're about to knock Vandy out. They're up 5-1 in the top half of the 7th inning. And Vandy looks like they have completely imploded. They got pretty much boat raced last night by Tennessee. A bad loss to the Vols. And don't get me wrong, Tennessee sure looks like the best team in the country. But Vandy has now lost to Tennessee and looks like they're headed down to Kentucky. 5-1 in the 7th. Tennessee, that's a much better story. Right now, they look like the best team in college baseball. They will play LSU tonight, give or take, around 8 p.m. A couple of other sporting notes for you, and then we're going to call it a day. The NBA playoffs resume tonight in Boston. If the Celtics win, they go to the finals to take on Golden State. And if that happens, that will be a great NBA final. That'll be something to look forward to. The finals, by the way, do not start until next Thursday night. And I honestly don't know if the East or the West has the home court. Anyway, thanks to all of you for being with us. Thanks to JP Plant earlier in the week for his assistance, to Justin Kulik for his help the last couple of days. It's been much appreciated. And thanks to all of the reporters who have chipped in from their various sites. This is a really cool event that the TSSAA has put on. They should be applauded for the way they get this done. And given all the rain and all the trouble they've had to deal with, pretty amazing stuff. Last but not least, my thanks to MTSU Athletic Director Chris Massaro and to Sports Information Director Mark Owens. On Monday, we didn't know where we were doing this. One phone call fit all, and that phone call was to Chris Massaro, and I'm greatly appreciative of his help. I'll be back with you Monday, July the 11th, along with Watson Brown and Billy Derrick when we debut the George Plaster Show. Excited to be joining Main Street Media. This is going to be really good for us. All of you, drive safely this weekend. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.
Main Street Sports Today, live from Spring Fling 2022, is brought to you in part by Complete Service Heat and Air, Keller Williams Lee Realty, First Lending Solutions, and Pamela Witt, State Farm, Micah Blunt Agency, Jeff Eby for State Representative, Riverside Golf Links, Jody Jones, DDS, and by Bart Durham Injury Law. Broadcasting live from the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, filling in for Mo and Chris, here's George Plaster.